As a Joomla administrator, you are responsible for both the user experience and the reliability of a live website. One of the most difficult things to recover from is a damaged Joomla database without a recent backup. Even with backups, we never want to find ourselves in the position of trying to restore a backup on a live site that is offline due to preventable mistakes. Installing new extensions often require a modification to the Joomla database. The plugin installation process will attempt to do this cleanly, but developer skills and attention to detail varies. Our site configuration may be in a state that the developer did not anticipate, or worse, the extension may just have a buggy release. This is why we always want to test plugins in an isolated environment before installing them on our live site. We'll go over two methods to prevent this from happening now. First, if you don't have a Joomla test account, it's a good idea to set one up. You could potentially do this at a second site on your web hosting account or with a Joomla test instance service. The main goal is to set up a clean, fresh install so you can test the extension in an isolated situation. If we find that the solution is a good one for our needs, we can then layer on things like templates, other plugins, etc. If we don't, we can do a clean uninstall or simply destroy this test site. This leaves our site free and clean of the remnants left over from poor extensions. In this example, we built a fresh Joomla test instance. Please follow the instructions for your own web hosting platform if you prefer. Once you've got a clean installation, you should download the extension from the developer's site and follow their instructions precisely. For complicated components, they may actually provide several extension packages to upload, as well as have special instructions for various additional required plugins, the installation order of things, or other steps. Most are much simpler, of course. As an example, we'll now test the installation of the JCE editor extension, a popular and highly rated extension that provides an improved content editor for Joomla. To do this, we download the required extension packages from the developer's site. We saw on the developer's site that this particular extension actually requires 2 package files, so we downloaded them both. We don't need to unzip them at all. We just go to the extension manager on our test site and upload the zip files as is. Once each file is uploaded, we should get an information message saying that each extension was installed successfully. What's next? We want to check to ensure that the promised functionality has been provided. Because we installed a component and a plugin, we should expect to see these in the appropriate places. First, let's check the component. The JCE component added a new menu in the Components menu, so let's have a look. As you can see, the plugin provides a warning that the editor is not the default editor. We'll note that later so we can add it to the checklist for when we install this on our live site. It's a good idea to note steps like this while you're evaluating the extension so you can reproduce the installation steps later. As we browse around the control panel options for the JCE editor component, we see it is well laid out, provides good links to tutorials, and has a support form linked right there for us to access. This is an example of an excellent user interface for a component. Let's enable it and try it out. We'll follow the suggestions to set it to the default editor for the site and try writing an article. Our goal here is to test the promised functionality, so let's see how it performs as an editor. We'll write a small test article, put in some extra elements that stress the new feature a bit, and save. As we do this, we expose some interesting features such as Joomla integrated link editor, better image inserts, etc. It appears to do what we need it to do very well. To be thorough, we might test write a few more articles and stress even more features. Our goal is to confirm that the new extension works as advertised and does not have any quirks that will prevent us from using it in practice. If we were testing modules, we would try out the different parameters and place them in positions where we might expect to use them on our site. Once we confirm that they do what we expect, we can call the evaluation a success. If we run into problems on a clean test install of Joomla, then we know that we have more work to do to evaluate them or perhaps decide that they are not appropriate for us. Once done testing, we can delete the test Joomla server and start from scratch again with another extension. While this may seem like overkill, it's actually quite easy to do if you have a one-click test installation option and will save you a lot of headaches down the road. Extensions should work properly on a clean installation. If they do not, you are likely to run into even more issues down the road when you're trying to install them on your fully configured site.